Hey, I need to pick up some items today and we're gonna take our bike, and that tracks. You can see here I'm doing a super hack job of attaching my rear rack and this pull-out basket thing. It's a bit flimsy, so I just used my ankle thing to hold it. There it is, yeah. Pretty hack job. You can see I didn't have some of the tools on me, but I wanted to get out pretty quickly, so I just grabbed whatever was on my bike in the storage when I got there. I'm pretty hungry, so that's why I was in a rush. And also, living in a building, I don't know if you can relate, but going up and down and up and down. And I do this all the time because I always forget things, but it really adds up. And I was ready to get the day started here. The reason I needed to put my rack on today, my bike originally came with it, and I used it for a bit, and it was super helpful in the summer when, you know, a backpack would make my back all sweaty, but I just kind of found it was a bit clunky. And it made a lot of rattling noise, especially because of the basket that pulls out. And so I just took it off and just used the bag all the time. But today we're gonna need the extra rigidity and space that this basket and rack is gonna provide. We're gonna go get some items from the store this summer. I'm hoping to really build a nice balcony garden, get some fresh lettuce and tomatoes hopefully, but yeah, we'll see what I can fit on my bike. Maybe one day I can get a cargo bike, but for now it's just the one bike and we'll make do with what we have. Today for lunch we're visiting this restaurant I always see. It advertises itself as Chinese food and breakfast food, like diner breakfast food. Of course I had to get both. I feel like that's a very quintessential Toronto type of restaurant. Has that hole-in-the-wall mom and pop shop feel. I was craving some basic food court sweet and sour pork, and then my favorite thing, which is just toast, jam, and coffee. So I finished off the meal with that, and it was pretty satisfying. A very weird combo, but it was great. I was recently listening to a podcast with some Chinese Canadians, and they were discussing this idea of fake Chinese food or white people Chinese food and whether it's authentic or not. I liked their takeaway. It was the idea that Chinese food is so diverse, and the history of a lot of Chinese food comes from the fact that it just kind of evolved based on the regions that people had moved to. Perhaps we just consider Canadian/American Chinese food as just another quote-unquote regional dish. Just some food for thought. Anyways, now we're just heading up to a garden center to collect our garden items. I have a pretty decent sized balcony, and it's not covered, so I thought it'd be a perfect opportunity. I don't know why I'd never tried it in other summers, but this one, with all the tariffs and just cost of living going up, I thought I'd just give it a shot, see if I can grow anything convenient. And yeah, we're gonna see how much we can fit on this bike. I have the rack on the back, but unfortunately I don't have anything to strap anything on, so I don't know how useful that'll be in the end. I have the basket that pulls out, which I'm thinking I'll put the seedlings or saplings, whatever you call them, in the little plants, like before you put them in the ground, but they're not seeds, because those need to stay kind of upright. I don't want dirt all over my bag and stuff. And then I have my bag, which I'm super excited. I will show it, I guess, later. I didn't really give a proper tour this time, but maybe in another video. Or bag, I guess, what's in my bag fit check, whatever you want to call it. I ordered the Baileyworks Whalemouth duffel shoulder bag, which I had seen in a Blue Lug bag check video a while ago, and I was super intrigued by it. And then it just kind of fit my need of what I needed right now. A shoulder bag that could still carry things, that was relatively practical in many ways. So yeah, I got my friend to order it who lives in the States, and when they visited, I was able to grab it from them, so it kind of worked out the timing. The bag was actually a lot bigger than I thought. I didn't get the small size, I got the second small size, which is the small versus the X small. And that was, yeah, a lot bigger than I thought. I didn't realize the bigger the bag is as well, the more stuff you put in, the heavier it becomes. So it's not a matter of how many things can you fit, it's how many things you should be putting in. Regardless, I love the bag. I kind of have made it a bit of a game or a challenge to see how many things I can put in the bag until it's too heavy for me, because that's usually been the limiting factor, not really the size. But yeah, today we'll see what happens. I grabbed a few things in this maze of a plant area. I was actually in here for quite a while. We ended up with some tomatoes, lettuce, and jalapeno plants. The interesting part, I had to get soil, so I grabbed a bag and I wasn't sure if it's gonna fit or how I'm gonna carry it, but you can see I'm putting all the little seedlings into the basket, so that worked. And then the big bag, ideally I would have somehow put on the rack, but it was just not gonna work out with the size, so I grabbed a plastic bag which I brought with me and put it into the Baileyworks Whalemouth bag. And yeah, I was like, oh god, I don't know if this is gonna fit, but I gotta get it home somehow because I paid for it already. So I was just kind of crossing my fingers, but it fit, you know, it barely fit, but it fit, and it was heavy. It's heavy for a one shoulder carry, I would say. At first I wasn't sure how I was gonna bike home, but there were a lot of people there at this point, so I was like, okay, I'm just gonna leave and pretend like I planned this all along. The seedlings were good, they all fit in there, that's fine. But yeah, the balance of this bag was insane because it was on one side of my body. I was already like having a hard time breathing and walking at the same time. I had to do a step up on the curb to get on the bike, and it was pretty much just holding my breath and struggling the whole way home. I'm like, I'm not getting off my bike at all to stop. We're just gonna have to book it home. And then of course, you know, there's like traffic with the cars that I have to weave in and out of, which I was just not able to do very well because of the weight and the imbalance of weight here. Here's a quick view. I sacrificed a lot to get this, guys. I was struggling. I felt like I was doing a full workout. Luckily it's mostly downhill from where I came from, so that was a big win. We're making it home. I also wanted to do a quick view of how big the bag was. It doesn't look that big, but I swear when I was riding it felt like it was massive. But yeah, here, we made it back okay. Here's the stuff I got. The soil was heavy, and I also got some of these plants from my parents beforehand. They had a few from their garden they were able to share with me, so that was great. They also gave me these, I guess, I don't know what they're, like, bag kind of planters, which are apparently a lot better for the balconies. When you don't have like in-ground gardens, it's able to breathe better. So I don't really know what I'm doing, I'm gonna be honest. Don't use this as a tutorial or any kind of example of what you should be doing. But yeah, I'm just showing you a few things that I got. Some, I think, jalapeno peppers, which I bought, the lettuce that I bought, and then you saw before there was a few herbs that my mom gave me. There's my puppy. She thinks sorry, she's not a puppy, she's a full-grown dog, but she acts like a puppy, and she thinks we're playing this whole time when I was really trying to get work done. But that's okay. We're just gonna start putting things in. I think that's sort of the idea here. But yeah, I'm hoping to grow some herbs. One of the main things is tomatoes, which need a lot of planters, and I actually didn't end up having enough soil here, so this is not really the full picture of how much I ended up having to do, but I had to go and get more soil, but I did use my car this time, which I'm lucky to have one in the city. I try not to use it because I hate driving in the city, and that's why, you know, we took the bike today, because I was just adamant on not doing it. But yeah, I don't think I would do that again. Maybe one day if I can get a cargo bike, maybe in the future. But yeah, that's what we started planting today, some tomato plants and some herbs. We'll see how the garden goes, and I'll maybe post some updates. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Alright, see ya.